This vehicle needs no introduction, it rather needs this. A German Autobahn special with the Lamborghini Urus, one of the most expensive and most dramatic performance SUVs. Today in the special Pearl Capsule version, a new fitting exterior, interior special edition today as Verde, so the green one, exterior and interior. This will be very special indeed. With Thomas and Autogefuehl, and here in the front we see that super dramatic look here already next to the sensor in the front, dramatic openings here for the cooling, and what a dramatic look overall here in the front. Yeah, and people are really looking to that vehicle when I drive it around here. Yeah, not only because of the color. The length at 5 meters 11 or 201 inches, and it shares the platform with the Audi RSQ8, or of course also with the Porsche Cayenne. The Turbo GT would be the corresponding model, and it's also full of tech. Rear axle steering here, especially more agility at low speeds, electromechanical anti-tilt control. Air suspension is standard as well, stiffer than in the sports modes. And design wise, a lot of angular design clues here, as we know from Lamborghini, contrasting mirror caps. 23-inch wheels here today with this green ring here around, also super fitting, and green brake calipers for these carbon ceramic brakes, and with all the options and so on. You can easily spend €250,000 or dollars on this vehicle here. So one of the most expensive and most exclusive SUVs out there. Falling roofline, coupe shape, extremely dramatic, but I mean, yeah, the color is screaming out, but all the small design clues, I would really say it does fit to that vehicle, doesn't it? What a screaming out rear. Look at that. Tail lamps horizontally drawn, really beautiful and slim, big Lamborghini logo. Torque vectoring, by the way, at the rear axle, and in the lower part, dramatic contrast with real exhaust by Akrapovic. Look at those. And the turning indicators here in the rear look like this. And also quite fancy in the front, aren't they? Ooh, under that hood we have a 4-liter V8 bi-turbo with a beautiful carbon fiber cover here. Look at that. Really cool. 650 horsepower, 3.6 seconds is the acceleration figure to 62 miles or 100 kilometers an hour. All-wheel drive, rear-wheel biased. What do you think? Car key looks like this. Yeah, definitely a beautiful job. Then the doors, they do offer soft close like this. They are also, magic, frameless. And let's see, nevertheless, for frameless doors, how the door closing sound is. Really cool. So one of the very rare cases with a nice and low frequency door closing sound, although it's frameless. In these Pearl Capsule models here, a lot of Alcantara use, already the inside of the doors, Bang & Olufsen sound system. And then we do see a lot of Audi, for example here at the steering wheel. We know these controls, and these are real buttons. Glad to have them indeed, and not so many #capacitive BS. Digital instruments, this is a base view, soon more to that. Carbon fiber use here also at the interior. And then we have beautiful seats, look at that, and also special Alcantara seats here with stitching, green Lamborghini stitching. Urus right there, and then this honeycomb look there with the stitching, and so this all the way Alcantara on the inside, cozy and racy at the same time, and they even can be cooled. This is the best combination, cooled Alcantara seats. The summer and the racing may come. The bolstering is quite firm, however still comfortable. You can also do long motorway runs with this vehicle, and the Alcantara also makes it very cozy and comfortable. And once again, since you have this cooling combination right here, it's actually a great thing. Steering wheel, electric control, and with 1.89 or 6'2", still have some headroom left here. This one is also equipped with that panoramic roof, which also has this shade, and then a great opening. I just had the thing that it seems to be rattling sometimes. Maybe it need to be like, some, I don't know, some grease applied to there that doesn't happen or something. Do you have experience with that? Interior overview. Welcome to this airplane or even spaceship. So many elements of that are soon to come. Wow, this is really amazing. But basic layout taken over from the Audi Q8 or RSQ8, 12.3-inch digital instruments. Then here 10.1-inch first touchscreen, second touchscreen 8.6-inch. Zoom more detail to that. A lot of carbon fiber use. Yeah, beautiful Lamborghini logo. It is somewhat easy to control, especially here with the rear buttons and the steering wheel. Great shifting pedals. Just this lower area, this thing here, this is really unique, but also somewhat complicated. Why? Let's take a look. It does look quite cool, definitely, especially a start-stop button here. Really like in an airplane. And then you start the engine here. And by the way, it even has this, look at that. Basically close it itself again, almost really cool. Here for parking, here the manual shifting mode that stays in the gear, and reverse is this reverse gear. But then it's not like you can push forward or something for the first gear. You have to do it always on the steering wheel. So when you're easing the car around in the car in the parking lot or something, you're always switching between this then and the shifting pedals. Left and right is for driving modes basically. On the left side you have the preset driving modes, and here also like how it sounds. Look. This has this really manual touch. I love that, but you know, here to click through the driving modes, I cannot push forward to go back to the next mode. Yeah, you always have to go all the way through then for that. And on the right side, it's more like you can individualize stuff when you just want to change the steering characteristics or the suspension characteristics and so on. You see that then on the digital instruments. But yeah, impressive gauge here definitely, but especially like with reverse and drive mode selection, a little bit complicated. Really nice digital instruments. You can also change the views, what you want to have in which place and so on. And then also depending on the driving mode, it does switch. For example, here in the sport mode or in the Corsa mode, that always changes how it looks. And there are also these off-road modes available. Then you have also off-road gauges on the left side. And of course, always nice to have this head-up display. The dual screen setup, it is a little bit less practical than in the Audi, first of all, because sometimes you have messages appearing here in the lower part, and then you really have to be like very close with your finger here. And here also, this is not the best frame for that actually. Other than that, the menu itself is quite good in the overview. These are all the vehicle features here, for example. You can have some live information here also that looks quite cool. Here the launch color for that. And here you can easily access the Apple CarPlay, for example. And this Bang & Olufsen sound system is really very nice. Gives a great sound. I can just recommend that indeed. And let's take a look at the car internal GPS, which can be accessed right here. And it's also usable and responsive enough indeed. And in the lower part, there is the place where you can control the climate temperature. If you have, by the way, different temperatures here, there's always this swiping gesture effect. You swipe here from outer to the inside in this area, and then it synchronizes left and right again. And when you want to enter an address, then you have the keyboard, for example, here. But here, even more important, seat heating and seat cooling. And yeah, Alcantara seats with seat cooling. Rarely have seen the combination. Again, can just stress that that's really an awesome idea. This lower area here, adaptive cup holders. You see the parking brake and nice Alcantara cover also here for that armrest. And there's where you put your smartphone in. 2 USB-A chargers it is, by the way, as the connection. Same nice materials apply to the inside of the rear doors. And then we have this single seat setup. Look at that. Here, also with Alcantara for the rear seats. Nice styling. 1 and 2. Wow, that looks great. And then this middle console is splitting it. You have some cup holders there and some more storage space. You have the electric controls. The only downside of that is that you can only push these seats a little bit forward, but you cannot completely fold them. That would be then the task of the ski hatch. Here we go. So that would be then the ski hatch to the trunk. Sitting in the rear, really exclusive and also comfortable. Enough legroom here left and headroom. It does fall down the roofline, but for me it still fits, and that means it will mostly work with almost everyone. So yeah, that's really cool. And here the electric controls, you can push this seat a little bit forward if you want a more leaning back position, or you can make it a little bit more upright and so on. So yeah, very luxurious position, and still you you still get this racing feeling here, also in the rear. Yes, it's a well-usable Lambo here with a lot of storage space, 1 meter or 40 inches in length and both in width. You can even get this protective rubber mat here if you want to do some dirtier things in that vehicle. And a beautiful Alcantara covering here also for that trunk. Welcome to Thomas's Performance Driving Lounge. We'll put this thing here, the Lamborghini Urus, in the Corsa mode. C. Whoa, this is going nuts, I can tell you. And we have free German Autobahn motorway and we start at 40 kilometers an hour. And let's see how that thing goes. Let's go. What? 250? Oh my goodness. 270 kilometers an hour. Okay, that's enough for now. Woo! Oh my goodness. Top speed would be 305 kilometers an hour or 190 miles an hour. We almost reached that. Of course, here safety first. Don't want to be, too hard on the brakes when the speed is reduced very soon, but how flawless that went, Great sound from that 4-liter V8 bi-turbo engine. And I mean, all-wheel drive acceleration, 3.6 seconds is the acceleration figure to 100 kilometers an hour or 62 miles an hour from 0. Yeah, the Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT is 0.3 seconds faster there even, so this one is not the fastest in the whole corporation. Wow, but really smooth, great acceleration, and although this large SUV, it was super silent at high speeds and so much in control everything. Here in these sport mode or Corsa mode, always the low gears are being kept, late shifting up, more pronounced exhaust sound. You can also individualize that here on the right side with the right lever and the 3 buttons for steering, suspension and drivetrain. And then on the left side here, these pre-selected modes basically do the same job. It's just a question like how, where I want it individualized, or do you want these presets? These presets will do it just fine, actually, definitely. I always just wonder, why can't I push the lever back to go back into the next mode? I really have to go all the way behind to go to the next. That's a little bit, distracting, I would say. Let's lower that window. And then let's shift down. Yeah. Now everyone is awake. I hope you too. Wow. Great shifting levers also here. High quality. Awesome. Wow. This is so much fun. And you can't really believe it's an SUV because it moves so fast, it moves so quickly, and we have the rear axle steering, which gives us agility at lower speeds, soon also more winding corners. We have the active roll stabilization when I'm doing lane changes. It stays upright. I mean, it's not shaking at all. It just stays straight. Perfect, straight and upright. This is extremely impressive. Air suspension in the sports mode, it's tuned on the stiffer note, of course. Yeah, and softer note then, and a little bit higher. When we're in the normal modes here, also you can see the level is down all the way from the air suspension. And when I go back into the Strada mode, then the air suspension is lifting it up. It's also a little bit softer. And although you are in the sports mode, it gives you great comfort. And that's the reason why Lamborghini, the brand, is the Urus now. That's it. They're hardly selling any sports cars anymore. This is the thing. This is the brand now. So just in numbers, the Urus leads all the other sports cars by so far because, I mean, let's be realistic. A true Lamborghini sports car is uncomfortable. Period. It's just the thing, It's there for racing basically, or maybe for inner city show off or something. But this one here is a Lamborghini you can use basically for everything. You can go on holiday with it. You can drive comfortable on the motorway. At the same time, you can still drive it in that extreme sporty way we've just shown to you, and soon again more winding corners where we see more about the agility feature of this one. But wow, really impressive. Big question, of course, yeah, what about the Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT? What about the BMW X5 or X6M, Mercedes GLE 63, and of course the direct brother, the Audi RSQ8? Where is this one situated, basically? Of course, the exterior is so expressive and, you know, so extreme. The interior as well, so individualized, and you know, these capsule special editions here in the green. Wow, I mean, maybe green is not my favorite color, but the matching of exterior and interior is so well done. And as we've been riding along here, so many times people are like standing next to us, like using the horn, like, hey, wow, amazing, you know, like great car. For some, it's also too much from the exterior design, so it really depends. The RSQ8 you would rather pick if you want a more subtle look, definitely on the exterior. Driving-wise, they do come very, very close. So, is the Lambo a spiced up, a tuned, or a more individualized RSQ8 driving-wise? Yes, it is, definitely, no doubt about that. And that's not a bad thing, because the RSQ8 is one of the best performance SUVs out there. And the same accounts here for this one, only that the price, of course, is way, way higher. When we drive in a performance-oriented way, of course, the consumption is like really, really high. When you use cruise control motorway, you can rather do some 12 or 13 liters on 100 kilometers. So some, yeah, I mean, in the 20 mpg, 19 mpg US regions, maybe like 23 mpg UK something. But that's just really when you have it steady and not like this. Holy moly, once again 200 kilometers an hour, and look at that, how smooth this car is staying here in this long bend. And I could feel I could drive even faster. It is incredible. It is just incredible. This is definitely one of the best performance SUVs out there, together with the RSQ8, in my opinion. Yeah, and the Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT also belongs to that club. They behave that sporty, and still, I mean, once again, I can't believe I'm driving an SUV. It just handles so flawless, even quite silent from the wind noises here. And it goes further. I mean, even when I'm at 200 kilometers an hour, there's still something going. On the brakes, the pedal wants to be used in a rather harsh way. It really wants to be hammered. That's the thing. Wow. Yeah, I think the same as you do. Is like, wow. Really amazed by that machine, awesome machine. And I found that compromise always great, that you have cars that are so sporty, but at the same time, they still remain so comfortable. That is the most astonishing thing to me. The user interface is more complicated than in the Audi RSQ8, of course quite similar with the screens, and here also with buttons on the steering wheel, so to control it while driving is still fairly easy. Yeah, just what I said initially in the interior part, the drive selection. Why would you have like this big lever just for the rear wheel drive? And then, yeah, the thing that here, like when you use both pedals, go to neutral at the same time, and right pedal to one. Yeah, it's still feasible, but especially when you ease the car around, you know, then reverse, shifting pedal, reverse, shifting pedal. It's just annoying, you know. Why would you do that? So, yeah, there the Audi is a little bit easier to use, but what a machine. Well, what about some winding corners? Let's take a look. Ooh. And now, oh, watch the bird first. And now, one more winding corners. Oh, what I do here is some rattling from the panoramic roof. Maybe like needs to be some, I don't know, some lubricant up there to even out these noises. But this is something that I feel here more than also in the RSQ8, for example. So yeah, I need some rattling noises from the windows. But let's focus on the driving for now. Uneven roads, 23-inch wheels, of course. More comfort without, you know, so big wheels, but how well it goes out of the corners. Really agile rear axis steering, and there is no delay from the throttle whatsoever. Always in the low corners, and here, when you use the shifting pedals yourself in that Corsa mode, it really like you put in this clicking, and then in that moment, bang, you get like another forward boost and blop from that exhaust. This is beautifully done. Wow. Also amazing. Once again, it's so large, so heavy, but the handling is really amazing. If you like this episode here, the Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT, you should check out the review with AJ and me on the racetrack defo. And of course, the Audi RSQ8, we have a nice episode with Holger and me. Holger, of course, meanwhile not with us anymore. Yeah, I hope he is in a better place. But there was a great review with us two on Tenerife. So see you in these videos.